Good morning. It's December 6th, 2024. Please forgive me. I have some kind of virus, illness, so some coughing and sneezing, and my voice doesn't sound very well. Sore throat's gone, but that's when everything else sets in. So, wasn't feeling great this morning, so I've been kind of just lying around, but catching up on some stories now, if you can bear with me and my voice. And by the way, this is Dorothea or Dot or Dorothy, whatever you prefer, of Through an Orthodox Christian Lens. Right now, I have some concerns over discussions on Social Security. Let me go through first what has been said. So we had a article from, Common Dreams. It said, watchdogs say world's richest man Elon Musk has, quote, declared war on Social Security. I don't recall seeing Musk say too much on Social Security other than he did respond to Senator Mike Lee's long thread on getting rid of Social Security, and all Musk said was interesting thread, okay? But I'll tell you what Representative Lee said. He said, of all the deceptive sales techniques the U.S. government has used on the American people, one of them, the Social Security Act, gets far too little attention. Buckle up because this is a wild ride. Well, in 1935, the American people were sold a bill of goods. They were told, pay into the system and it'll be your money for retirement. Sounds great, right? Yeah, it does. But here's where it gets juicy in a really ugly way. 2 years later, when the Supreme Court was considering the constitutionality of the Social Security Act, the government did a complete 180. The government, through Assistant Attorney General Robert Jackson, argued in essence, quote, oh no, this isn't your money at all. This is a tax, and we can do whatever we want with it. Classic bait and switch. Well, let me see. Let me go on before I say anything. Let's not forget the ruling of Halvering versus Davis, where the Supreme Court upheld the Social Security Act by embracing the government's argument / admission that what people pay into Social Security is tax revenue, available to be used as Congress may direct. Let me remind you, I was listening to Jimmy Dore on this earlier today, and I agree with him. There wasn't a time where a person not everybody receives their Social Security checks every month. It's constant. It's something you can count on. What Representative Mike Lee wants to do is, because there's people plundering Social Security through Congress, instead of fixing the problem and, stop spending money overseas on wars or, cutting all the ridiculous spending here and on the defense and on pork barrel spending, why not we look at protecting Social Security, not taking from there, and learning some discipline? Every person who's in the public, okay, all of us citizens have to be responsible with our money. Why can't the government? Because they get away with everything, don't they? They could spend and spend, and if they don't have it, they could just print the money. The answer is not get rid of Social Security and put it into investments like 401ks or IRAs. There is no guarantee that your money in the market is going to be there when you retire. Okay? What people don't understand is, or maybe they do, but you probably do. Anybody with critical thinking and regular common sense would say, for instance, I'll give you an example. My friend or her family had a wonderful 401k through her husband's work, and he had to retire because of a disability, his back and everything. So, but this was back in 2008, and because of the recession and all the crash of the market and everything that happened, that people were suffering economically, what happened was 3/4 of my friends' 401k was wiped out. So their money for retirement now is much less. And that's all they had, okay? But thankfully they have Social Security that can counter that. And it seems Social Security, you do get some kind of deposit increase each year. I think that has to do with cost of living. But in any case, it's there. It's reliable. And it can still be reliable if, like I said, the government will do the right thing and fix that. My answer is fix the system, protect Social Security. Now, even though they say that Elon Musk is considering this, I have not seen that, but I just saw that one comment he made that it was an interesting thread, that perhaps he was mulling it over. Mike Lee, the representative, I don't agree with his stance on this at all, and there's certain things I don't agree with him. He's way too hardcore for my taste. Also, let's remember that what Donald Trump said about Social Security. He said he was not going to touch Social Security. He also said that he would not raise this Social Security, the age to receive Social Security, which is very important. You know, you want to be able to live out your golden years. And this is what really bothers me. Elderly people, I see them still working out there because they have no way to support themselves other than doing these jobs. 70, 80 years old, instead of having that time to, after so many years of working, decades, why can't they just sit, relax, have a time to be with their family and their grandkids, and maybe go on simple little travels, to certain places they haven't been able to go on. Perhaps they could do that. Maybe they had saved up for that. Give them something they can do. Allow them 10, 20 years. It seems 10 years is so short. Allow them 20 years of time of doing things outside of that, the hard jobs they worked. Maybe they want to volunteer and do something for their church or for the local charity, volunteering each week or whatever. But none of them should be forced to have to work when they're 80 years old. If they want to, that's different. Just a little extra money they want to get. I have a coworker. I don't know how old she is, but I'm assuming she's in her early 70s. She works, 9 hours a week. Where I work at the restaurant, and that's just extra money for her. But by all means, there should be this safety net for the elderly, and it's unconscionable to think of taking that away, in my opinion. So, what are your thoughts on that? I know, when I was young, I didn't think about these things because, you're not thinking of retirement age and all that. But when you get closer and closer, you start worrying what's going to happen to it. And, this has been talked about back and forth in both parties for decades, ever since I was in my 20s. I heard that, and I'm sure it was even before that. So, it was probably going on in the 80s, 90s. They always constantly bring up that. And also, we need to keep Medicare and Medicaid. That is a crucial thing because we do not have health care for all. We need that for people who can't afford health care. I can barely afford it myself. And those who are elderly and need when you get older, you need more health care. So, what's your thoughts on this? Please put your comments below this video. And if you like my content, please follow my channel and like my videos. And I have a few videos coming up. Thank you. for listening and watching. Until next time, God bless.